I'd like to welcome everyone. Would you please join me in the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Superintendent Fury, do we have any special recognitions?
Madam Chair, we do not this evening.
Okay. No public participation? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Been moved by Mr. Turner, second by Ms. Coggan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Same on the minutes, please.
So moved to approve the minutes.
Okay. Been motion by Ms. Coggan, second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. No opposes. Superintendent's report, financial report, Ms. Bullard.
For the month of May, our SPOS distribution is $880,416, which is a decrease from last month of $132,682. We're still averaging almost $874,000 a month for SPOS 3. Our TAVT tax, we only have up to April, $121,000, and that one's averaging $111,000. Now we have 14 months of experience with that. And expenditures are still running well below budget with 87.95% spent versus 91.67% of the year completed.
Okay.
And that's it.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Bullard? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Operations report, Dr. Lockhart.
You have the operations report for June 2014. There are a few items I would like to bring to your attention. Capital projects, KUNJ Construction report the greenhouse project at Newton High School is on schedule and progressing adequately. And this project is currently scheduled for a June 30th, 2014 deadline, and the project should be finished within about 2 weeks. And there's a picture of that work being done there. Another item of note would be the ombudsman report. The ombudsman program in the school year with 118 high school students and 49 middle school students. A total of 211 high school students were served during the 2013-14 school year. A total of 79 middle school students were served during the 2013-2014 school year. And the only other thing that I would like to share with the operations report, if you turn over to the student health service report, it has the number of student visits to our school nurses, just so that you would get a sense of the type of traffic that goes through our nursing program here in the Newton County school system. And that concludes my operations report, unless there are any questions.
Okay, do we have any questions? Okay. All right, Dr. Lockhart, you have curriculum and instructional too?
Yes, ma'am. Curriculum Instruction Technology Report. You have that report with you as well. There are several things going on, of course, as always, in the Newton County school system. One item I just would like to bring to our attention so that we could publicly celebrate this at the board meeting. Dr. Shattuck and his team, they attended a conference for an international competition to try to receive an award for technology implementation, one that has a great impact on student learning. The Newton County team learned that they won the Gold Award, which was second place for the implementation of the ViewPath cameras. This competition had over 700 entries from 10 different countries. And with all of that, Newton County did receive the Gold Award for their work. So I'd just like to commend Dr. Shattuck and his team for that outstanding work. And unless there are any other questions, that concludes the information I would share for the Curriculum Instruction and Technology Report.
Okay. Do we have any questions? Okay, enrollment report.
Enrollment report. This is for May 2014. At this current time, we registered 19,251 students. This time last year was 19,056 students. So we saw an increase of 195 students over this time last year.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Lockhart.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have a motion to approve the superintendent's report, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved by Ms. Coggins, second by Mr. Turner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no old business. Moving on to new business. Ms. Bullard?
The superintendent recommends the approval of the FY 2015 budget for all governmental funds as approved in the tentative budget approved last month, with the addition of $200,000 in instructional expenditures in the general fund to add one more hour to the 6-hour per day elementary paraprofessional workday. As background, the tentative budget was advertised on Sunday, May 13th. The budget was approved using an estimated digest of $1.9 billion with a millage rate of 20 mils. We have not yet received the final digest from the tax commissioner. We should get it sometime in the week of June 23rd. And you can see, you should have the amended tentative budget with the $200,000 in expenditures, leaving a ending fund balance of $18,110,467 compared to a beginning of $18,838,219.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve item A?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, been moved by Ms. Coggins, second by Mr. Metters. Okay. Do we have any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for a vote. Can I have a vote on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, Ms. Lumens, you have items B through G.
Mm.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Item B, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contracts awarded to the following vendors be renewed for an additional contract period. The vendors are Portion Pack Chemical Corporation, Coca-Cola Enterprises, Mayfield Dairy Farms, Southeastern Paper Group. As background, Portion Pack Chemical Corporation provides necessary chemicals and supplies, as well as detailed training, safe food handling guidelines, and regular compliance site monitoring at all school nutrition program locations. The estimated annual contract value is $40,823. For Coca-Cola Enterprises, this is a beverage contract and includes assorted vegetable and fruit juice blends, 0-calorie sports drinks, plain and flavored waters, and numerous types of fruit juices. All the items are sold to students on an a la carte basis. The estimated annual contract value is $60,000. For Mayfield Dairies, this contract includes the milk and associated products needed for the school system and reflects the nutritional changes mandated by state and federal guidelines and legislation. Pricing is based on Class 1 raw milk prices listed on monthly federal milk order announcements for the southeastern zone. The estimated contract value is $750,000. For Southeastern Paper Group, this contract covers 65 separate items, including bowls, cups, food trays, disposable gloves, and assorted chemicals, including agents. Estimated annual contract value is $470,000. This
Okay.
concludes item B.
Just one clarity, on Mayfield, you said 750. Is it 750 or 705?
I'm sorry, 705.
Okay. Okay, you can go ahead with item C.
Okay, item C, the superintendent recommends the annually renewable contract for produce and fresh eggs be awarded to Royal Food Service of Atlanta, Georgia. For an annually renewable contract for the purchase of produce and fresh eggs for the school nutrition program. The bid was opened on May the 28th. The following vendors submitted bids in response to this solicitation: Dexter's Farms from Buford, Georgia, Carden Foods of Griffin, Georgia, and Royal Food Service of Atlanta, Georgia. One vendor was subsequently disqualified from consideration due to documented past performance issues. Bids were evaluated on the amount of markup above index costs for the estimated usage of all items. After review, it was determined that the bid submitted by Royal Food Service offered the lowest cost to the school system. The estimated annual value of this contract is $365,000. This concludes item C.
Okay.
Item D, the superintendent recommends the bread and associated items needed for the school nutrition program for fiscal year 2015 be purchased from Earth Grains Baking Company of Decatur, Georgia. In an effort to secure better pricing options, the procurement department is utilizing a recently enacted State of Georgia statewide contract for bread and related bakery items. This statewide contract will allow school systems and state agencies statewide to aggregate their spending and thus deliver better pricing. The estimated value of this contract is $150,000. This concludes item D.
Okay.
For item E, the superintendent recommends the annually renewable contract for plumbing services be awarded to Royal Flush Plumbing Incorporated of Covington, Georgia. The following vendors submitted bids in response to the solicitation. American Residential Services, doing business as Rescue Rooter from Marietta, Georgia, and Royal Flush Plumbing Incorporated of Covington, Georgia. The bids were evaluated on the contractor's labor rates pricing. Cost markups for parts and materials were reviewed as well. After review, it was determined the bid submitted by Royal Flush Plumbing Incorporated offered the lowest cost to the school system. The estimated annual value of this contract is $200,000. This concludes item C.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In the past, when we normally bid items out, we normally put the bidder's price. Could we start putting that back on there so we can see
Sure.
what those other bids were? Not, but here, and there was another one as well. Could we just start putting those numbers there, what
We
their
can.
actual bid was?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Item F, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract for waste disposal and recycling awarded to Georgia Waste Disposals, doing business as Waste Management, be renewed for an additional contract period. This contract includes the provision of garbage and recycling containers at schools and facilities, as well as regularly scheduled disposal of the contents. The vendor has performed satisfactorily, met all contractual requirements, and has agreed to continue their service under the current terms and conditions of the contract. The estimated annual contract value is $189,000. This includes item F. Item G, the superintendent recommends renewal of the request for proposal for school nutrition software for all schools from Horizon Software International. This request for proposal was awarded April 25th, 2006. The school nutrition program wishes to renew the request for proposal for the purchase of specialized food service software. This renewal includes annual maintenance fees and the cost of upgrading to new software. The software includes point of sale and back of the house applications. The vendor is a sole source for the software. The estimated total cost is $26,448.91 annually. This concludes item G, and that concludes all of my items, Madam Chairman.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Can I have a motion for items B through G, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Turner, second by Ms. Coggan. Do we have any discussion or questions regarding these items at this time before calling for the question or the vote? No? Okay. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Dr. Shattuck?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ms. Ferry, Madam Chairwoman, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Item H deals with the purchase of antivirus software for the school system. The superintendent recommends Sophos Enterprise antivirus software needed for the school system be purchased from MGC Wallace Company of Lenoir City, Tennessee. As part of an ongoing software review process, the technology department evaluated various antivirus software solutions currently available in the marketplace. The review involved testing, references, comparison of functionality, and cost. So far, antivirus software was chosen after a careful evaluation of available alternatives. The antivirus software covers servers, workstations, and email. The school system will utilize a competitively bid contract managed by PEPPM, a national technology bidding and purchasing program, to purchase the needed software for all schools. An estimated contract value is $27,280.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve item H?
Question, please.
Yeah, I want to move it forward, and then we'll have discussion.
I'm sorry.
Can I have a motion to?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
it's been moved by Mr. Metters and second by Ms. Coggan. Now, discussion.
These funds are coming out of this year's or next year's budget.
It's coming out of the 2015 general fund budget, the technology assigned general fund budget. It's something we buy every year, the antivirus software.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, do we have any more questions? I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Shattuck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Barr, you have items I and J.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In item I, the superintendent recommends the school bus tracking and management software needed for the school system be purchased from Tyler Technologies of Plano, Texas. Tyler Technologies also produces the routing and planning, fleet management, and field trip scheduling software currently used by the school system and the transportation department. The solution will fully integrate with the routing and planning software to enable real-time GPS diagnostics and alerts. The software suite was chosen after an extensive review of available alternatives, including live trials of these products. The purchase also includes GPS hardware, connectivity fees, and support and maintenance. Key benefits of this comprehensive solution include the following: provides immediate and accurate information about school bus location, allows for route adjustments or optimization based on actual route data, immediate access to route information, location of stops, stop time, speed, accurate departure and arrival reporting, onboard diagnostic monitoring such as low battery voltage, change in oil pressure, engine light indicator. Provides accurate method of tracking hours worked by employees using web-based time clock. The school system will utilize a competitively bid contract managed by the National Joint Powers Alliance, a national purchasing cooperative, to purchase the software needed. The estimated cost is $165,121. The cost will be paid using capital funds. The estimated annual recurring cost for support and maintenance is $70,626. In summary, the software will allow the transportation department to allow much more safely and efficiently. And that concludes item I.
Okay, go ahead and go with J.
Okay. Item J, the superintendent recommends the identified items be declared surplus and disposed of per board policy DO. The items presented for your consideration this evening are from Alcovey High School, Fairview Elementary School, Herd Mixon Elementary School, and Porterdale Elementary School. And that concludes item J.
Okay, can I have a motion for I and J?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, been moved by Mr. Turner, second by Ms. Coggan. Any discussion on either one of these items?
Yes, I have a question. Will the automatic monitoring of oil pressure, and will that eliminate a technician from manually doing it as we do today?
Not necessary, no. It would just let us know immediately what kind of problems the bus is having before we dispatch a mechanic to the bus for repair. They'll know in advance of a drive and what they're dealing with in most instances.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, call for the vote. Can I have, all in favor for I and J?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Mr. Woodard, you have K and L.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First item is Newton High School engineering equipment. Superintendent recommends the purchase of engineering equipment for the Newton High School, to be purchased from Learning Labs of Calhoun, Georgia. As a part of the CTAE Vocational Agriculture Equipment Grant of 2014, the school system received $456,000. $108,000 was set aside or earmarked for Newton High School. Newton High School desires to purchase equipment from Learning Labs. The equipment was selected based on state-suggested industry requirements, references from teachers, administrators, and also alignment with the current Alcova and Eastside High School equipment. Learning Labs is the sole source provider. The estimated cost is $68,095.42.
Okay, you can go ahead with L.
Okay. Next item is the approval of the 2015 Newton County Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Program Improvement Local Plan. Superintendent recommends that the 2015 Newton County Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Program Improvement Plan be approved. Annually, we have to submit this improvement plan to the Department of Education. Perkins funds are tied up per the date that the local plan is approved, so approving this tonight would allow the Perkins funds to be used, begin being utilized July 1st. The improvement fund grant this year is actually increasing 4.1%, which is the first time it's increased in, I think, in about 4 years. The total this year would be $153,643. Typically, if you turn the page to, we have performance indicators both at the county system level and the state level. However, per an email from the Department of Education dated May 15th, the Perkins Core Indicator data is not ready to populate, so we had to submit our plan without knowing that data.
Okay, can I have a motion for K and L, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, been moved by Mr. Metter, second by Mr. Turner. Do we have any discussion or questions on either one of these items? Okay, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Mr. Woodard.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Satterfield, M and N.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Item M calls for the approval of contractual agreements between physical therapists and occupational therapists in the system. The superintendent recommends the approval of the attached agreements between the Newton County School System and the following individuals to provide physical therapy and occupational therapy services to students with disabilities in accordance with their IEPs.
Okay, you can go ahead with it.
Okay, in item N, calls for the approval of contractual agreements providers for speech pathologists, occupational therapists, and vision teachers. Superintendent recommends the approval of the attached agreements between the Newton County School System and the following providers to provide speech, occupational therapy, and vision services to students with disabilities in accordance with their IEPs for the 2014-15 school year.
Okay, can I have a motion for M and N, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Metter, second by Mr. Turner. Discussion or questions regarding these items? If not, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Satterfield. Dr. Lockhart, O through S, and I'm gonna do T separately.
Yes, ma'am. Item O, policy JBCC, student assignment. Recommendation, the superintendent recommends policy JBCC be adopted as revised. This policy will be reviewed during the month of June and followed by a request for action in July. Background, the current NCSS board policy governing student assignment does not provide guidance for siblings of students enrolled in special instructional programs. This revision addresses siblings of students enrolled in special instructional programs and addresses hardships families may face in regards to transportation. If I could draw your attention to the actual policy, there's an insertion, item 4, and I'll just read that aloud. Siblings of students who are enrolled in a special instructional program may be allowed to attend the same school if the parents agree to provide transportation. This stipulation for out-of-zone assignment will apply for the duration of the time a student is enrolled in special programs assigned to that school. If the student attending the special instructional program graduates from the school or completes the highest grade level at the school, the sibling has the privilege to remain until completion of the highest grade level at the school, adhering to out-of-zone stipulations. And that concludes item O.
Okay, you can go ahead with P.
Item P, revision of NCSS policy JCEB. Superintendent recommends that policy JCEB be revised. This policy will be reviewed in June and July with recommended changes acted on by the board in July. Background, in the fall of 2010, the Newton County Board of Education approved changes in the student disciplinary hearing procedure. The board approved changing the tribunal process to a hearing officer model. When this change in process was completed, the accompanying policy, JCEB, was not modified in accordance with the change. The recommendation is to modify the policy to agree with the practice which has been in place since 2010. The policy follows, and the difference between the policy is that where you would see tribunal, that has been changed to see the words hearing officer. And that concludes item P.
Okay, before you move forward, we don't need a motion on these items because they have to sit on the table for 30 days. So I'm gonna ask now, does anybody have questions regarding O and P? Okay, go ahead and proceed, please.
Okay. Item Q, resolution for waiver for alternative non-traditional education programs. Superintendent recommends the approval of a resolution for a waiver of Rule 160-4-8.12, which applies to instructional time for middle school students in the alternative program. Background, due to the time structure of the ombudsman program, middle school students attend classes for a total of 240 minutes each day, which is a reduction to the required minutes set forth by the Georgia State Board of Education. Accordingly, it is necessary to waive the academic instructional requirement of 330 minutes. The approval of this waiver will provide the flexibility necessary to ensure students who attend the ombudsman program receive appropriate academic credit. The request for this resolution for a waiver impacts the 2014-15 school year only and must be renewed annually. This is a renewal. That concludes item Q.
Okay, go ahead with R.
Item R, school system class size resolution. The superintendent recommends approval of a class size resolution for submission to the State Department of Education, which reflects the instructional program class size the Newton County school system may utilize during the 2014-15 school year that are above current State Board of Education requirements. Again, this is a class size waiver that we have requested annually each year.
Okay, go ahead with S.
Item S, school resource officer contract. The superintendent recommends that the attached SRO services contract with the Newton County Board of Commissioners be approved. Given the expiration of the previous SRO contract between the Newton County Board of Commissioners and the Newton County Board of Education, the superintendent recommends the approval of the attached contract. This contract is renewal of the current contract and is valid for 3 years. The contract and associated costs are attached.
Okay, can I have a motion for QRS, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Ms. Coggins, second by Mr. Turner. Do we have any discussion or questions regarding these items? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. Go ahead with T.
Yes, ma'am. Item T, personnel recommendations. The superintendent requests that the board approve the personnel recommendations made during executive session.
Okay. These are items discussed in executive session. Can I have a motion to approve executive session topics?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, been moved by Ms. Coggins, second by Mr. Turner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Okay, thank you, Dr. Lockhart.
Thank you.
6 letters left. We didn't want to go all the way down.
Wait till we get to the other matters.
All right, other matters of interest.
Now we can do the other letters.
Now we can do the other letters. You, other matters of interest. Anybody have any? Okay, 7:29, or 7:30 now, okay? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved by Ms. Coggins, second by Mr. Metters. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Thank you very much.